If you've tried to hire remotely and it didn't work out, it probably wasn't the model. It was execution. Remote hiring isn't broken, but it breaks when roles are vague, timelines are rushed, or the entire process is handed off without a structure. We've reviewed thousands of remote hires across Latin America. We've seen what leads to strong team integration and what derails it before the first interview. Today, we'll walk you through 5 common points of failure and what SaaS leaders are doing differently to build remote teams that actually deliver. Number 1. Undefined roles equals mismatched outcomes. Recycled job descriptions might seem like a shortcut, but they often result in mismatched hires, vague expectations, and underperformance. They describe generic responsibilities, not business needs, and that disconnect becomes painfully clear once someone is in the seat. Defining what success looks like in the first 90 days isn't a formality, it's foundational. Without a 90-day plan tied to real outcomes, you risk bringing on someone with not clear target. That slows momentum, creates confusion, and makes it harder for teams to hold each other accountable. What works? Role scorecards tied to business outcomes. Swapping bullet points for measurable results gives clarity into what you're expecting from day one and helps candidates self-assess before they ever step into an interview. Define success metrics before outreach. Use this to inform who you target, how you evaluate, and how candidates self-select. If you want to move fast, align early. Alignment with hiring manager plus team leads before you talk to candidates. Clarity at the top prevents churn at the bottom. Shared expectation up front mean better interviews, smoother onboarding, and fewer backtracks. Founders who build this structure into their hiring reduce ramp-up time by up to 25% and improve team retention by more than 30% in the first year. Number 2. Job boards alone won't get you top talent. Job boards might bring volume, but volume isn't leverage, it's distraction. Most high-performing candidates aren't applying cold. They're working, their heads down, and they're not scrolling job feeds. So when your hiring strategy relies on posting and waiting, you end up flooded with unqualified applicants and spend more time filtering than selecting. It also creates a misalignment of expectations. Passive candidates, those you source directly, tend to be more strategic, more selective, and more aligned with your requirements because the process starts with your context, not theirs. What works? Targeted outbound sourcing. Proactively reach out to profiles that match both experience and role-specific outcomes. You'll spend less time filtering and more time evaluating serious contenders. Context-driven messaging. Tailor outreach based on what matters. Tech stack, business model familiarity, time zone, industry relevance. Relevance raises response rates and cuts back and forth. Light touch screening aligned to real needs. Intro videos or asking questions can help surface traits like communication, business context, and cultural alignment before the interview loop even begins. According to data from Lever's 2023 Recruiting Benchmarks report, companies that adopt proactive sourcing strategies see a 35% time to hire and a 2 times improvement in candidate quality compared to those relying solely on inbound applications. For SaaS founders, shifting from reactive job boards to intentional outreach leads to shorter hiring cycles, stronger candidate alignments, and more predictable team growth. Number 3. Skipping ramp-up slows down everything else. One of the biggest traps in remote hiring is expecting new team members to be instantly productive without context, onboarding, or adaptation. Even top performers need time to absorb your workflows, tools, expectations, and pace. Without a proper ramp-up, great candidates don't deliver, not because they lack talent, but because they are dropped into chaos. The disconnect usually starts with a few false assumptions that remote experience equals full autonomy from day one, that onboarding can be skipped when the team is stretched, and the tools, systems, and culture will translate across borders without friction. What works? Interviewing for us in communication and adaptability. Great resumes are everywhere, but clarity and curiosity in communication are what set top candidates apart, especially when time zone or culture barriers exist. Setting a documented onboarding sprint. Plan the 14 to 30 days as intentionally as a product launch. Who's responsible for what? What does success look like week to week? Giving time to learn the business. Your new hire shouldn't be guessing how your GTM motion works. Give them the product, customer, and operational context early. When the ramp is done well, the impact shows up across metrics. Teams ship faster, communication cycles tighten, and churn drops significantly. According to a 2023 study by Sapling HR, companies that implement structured onboarding programs improve new hire retention by 82% and productivity by over 70%. For SaaS leaders, that translates to better future velocity, stronger customer outcomes, and a hiring investment that pays off faster. Number 4. No post-hire structure equals early churn. Without a structured onboarding plan, even top-tier remote hires can lose traction. Many early-stage churn issues stem from weak post-hire experiences, unclear expectations, not consistent touchpoints, and lack of ownership over the onboarding process. This creates a cycle where new hires underperform not due to lack of skill, but because they're navigating ambiguity from day one. The result? Delayed outcomes, missed context, and unnecessary backfilling costs. What works? A clearly defined onboarding plan with progressive milestones helps align expectations and gives both new hires and managers visibility into how well the integration is going. Instead of vague check-ins, structured timelines establish whether progress is happening and provide a framework for early course correction if needed. Weekly check-ins that prioritize context, not just status. A 30-minute sync can uncover blockers, clarify scope, and reinforce alignment early. Single point of ownership. One person should own onboarding and be accountable for ensuring every hire integrates with product, process, and culture. Structured onboarding is more than a productivity tactic, it's a retention strategy. According to Gallup, employees with a strong onboarding experience are 2.6 times more likely to be extremely satisfied with their workplace and significantly more likely to stay. For scaling SaaS companies, every new hire should be treated like a customer acquisition, clearly scoped, fully supported, and measured across a defined success cycle. Number 5. Build the team you actually want without leaving it to chance. Top-performing teams aren't a result of luck. They're built on consistency, through hiring systems that reduce friction and align execution from day one. The most successful SaaS companies we've worked with don't just hire reactively. They've operationalized clarity at every stage, aligning on outcomes, sourcing for long-term fit, and onboarding with precision. That consistency makes their team more agile, more accountable, and easier to scale, and it shows in the numbers. According to Remote.com, companies that adopt structured hiring practices see a 73% improvement in retention and a 66% productivity boost within 6 months. Add predictable hiring systems to the mix, and you shorten ramp-up, reduce misfires, and keep growth steady. In fast-scaling SaaS, it's not about perfection. It's about building the right habits early, because hiring isn't a side project, it's the foundation. Remote hiring fails when you treat it like a quick fix. But when it's designed as a system, one built on clarity, accountability, and context, it becomes a lever for scale. SaaS founders don't have time to waste chasing inconsistent outcomes or cycling through misaligned hires. If you want to make hiring a growth driver instead of a bottleneck, it starts with how you structure the process. We've helped dozens of companies streamline their remote hiring with systems that actually stick. If that's something you're looking to build, we'd be happy to show you how it works.